Now, I don't really know how this video is going to be received, and I don't really know what the outcome of this video is going to be, but what I wanted to talk about was, in sales, if you run an online business, if you have a coaching business and you're trying to sell to people online, unfortunately, you can never outwork your lack of skill. Now, the reason that I'm actually talking about this is because a lot of people and a lot of coaches have the belief right now that in order for them to get more sales, they need to post more content, they need to send more messages, they need to use more scripts. It's not the truth at all. When you have an online business, you do not get rewarded in terms of new clients and everything like that just off volume. You get rewarded off your skill set. Now, if you're sat there and you're struggling to book sales calls and you're struggling to close more deals, it's not a case of I just need to do more of the same thing. What you need to do is you need to pivot and you need to change your angle, change your approach, and actually change how you do things. Now, a lot of people, the inability to sell actually comes within themselves. Okay, so they don't believe that they're worth it. They don't believe that they have the ability to do things. And essentially what you believe is your truth. And a lot of the people that I actually coach, one of the first things that I do, like as soon as they enter my sales academy, is I sit down with them and have a conversation with them and I say, right, okay, when you get on a sales call, how do you feel? And they're like, what? And I'm like, do you feel nervous for a sales call? Or do you feel relaxed as I am making this YouTube video right now? If they say nervous, that needs to be addressed. If they say relaxed, that's cool. But the reason that people get nervous for sales calls is because they tie a lot of their internal worth to the outcome of the call. If they don't close, it means that they're a shit person, a shit business owner. And the reason that they do not close is because they're nervous. And the reason they're nervous is because they do not retain their own authority when they go into a sales call. They don't have structure, they don't have strategy, they don't have a plan. They have a script that they occasionally use and occasionally wing off, and they just hope and pray. I can guarantee you that if you go on to a sales call with an actual framework, an actual plan, knowing and having confidence in your abilities, you are not going to feel nervous. Nerves come from incompetency, and the more incompetent you are at something, the nervous you are. If someone said to me, right, so I personally right now, I want to learn to DJ. I want to learn how to play the decks. My videographer, Johan Staines, is a really good DJ and he's teaching me how to do it, right? But let's say, for instance, if you said to me, right, Matthew, we're going to go to a field tomorrow and you're going to DJ in front of 50 people and I've done 2 practice runs. I'm going to be nervous as fuck. But if you said to me, Matthew, you're hopping onto a sales call in 10 minutes, I'll be fine because I have got the skills behind me to be competent enough to not feel nervous about something. So if you're nervous for a sales call, it comes from competency and authority. And the second half of that problem, the authority, comes from the mindset that's been drilled into you. Because you have a business mentor, because you've been told all these things about scaling to 10K months and blah, 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 blah. And because you've been told to send this script and use these messages and use these tactics and use these approaches and to send 100 DMs a day, you are pedestalizing your prospects without you even know it. And your brain is subconsciously putting those prospects on a pedestal because of all the tactics that you are being given to get those prospects. Because ultimately what you're being told from looking at this analytically is that you need to use all these tactics to just get a prospect, and you need to use all these different things to get a prospect, so they must be worth something and they must be worth more than me, which is going to throw you off completely. What I want you to do is to keep things simple. I do not like complicated tactics. I do not like these complicated approaches, these advanced funnels, these really complex systems of getting clients. Sales is easy. Talk to people, find out their pain, give them the solution, find out their dream state, give them the solution. That is literally it. And you pedestalizing prospects by using all these different fucking tactics and all these different approaches is pulling you back. You don't need more tactics. You don't need more scripts. You need correct frameworks and something that is so repeatable it's a joke. You don't need these complex systems, these complex scripts, these complex strategies to get prospects and to get sales. I do not use complex strategies to get clients. I close thousands, right? And I do not use complex strategies. I use very simple, nuanced human behavior tactics. That is literally it. And I learn how to apply these in the conversations, in the DMs, and in obviously into the sales calls, and that is it. And that allows me to go on to a sales call and be the authority and be the leader instead of being the person who's on the back foot just because you're nervous about asking a prospect for 450 quid on a Friday afternoon. And what I'm trying to say is that that is how easy sales can be. Now this video has just been really ram-jammed, there's been no script, I've freestyled it. But the message that I want to drill home is that you do not need more in sales to get more from sales. You don't need more tactics, you don't need more scripts, you don't need more messages, you don't need more volume. What you need to do is to reclaim the authority, stop focusing on all these fucking tactics that you're being taught in your mentorship and your group mentorship, because it's coming from someone who once had a successful business. Obviously I'm not discrediting people, because there are successful people out there, but 80% of the time, if you're being thrown into a group with group sales training and group support and group things, you are not getting the attention you deserve, and you are not getting that one-on-one attention that you deserve with sales, and ultimately what's going to create you income. You're not going to create income from using the same tactics as everyone else. You're not going to create the income from using the same scripts as everyone else. Oh, run this free challenge, use this script to fill people on that free challenge, use this conversion tactic to get people from the free challenge into your paid program. If you're doing the same as everyone else, you're going to get the same results. If you want to carve your own path and actually work towards gaining a life of freedom and actually getting clients every single month and doing it with ease, then you need to keep simple frameworks in mind and actually learn how to sell. Once you learn the psychology and the human behavior side of selling, it becomes easy. You don't need tactics, you just know how to do it, and everything becomes like that. And that's where it is for me right now. When I'm on a call, when I'm in the DMs, things just come to me like that. There's no thought process, there's no meltdown, there's no panic, it's just instant reaction. And sales is reaction to me right now. I automatically know what to say, I automatically know what to say in the DMs, automatically know what to say on a sales call. And the reason that I do that, and the reason that I have a 50% plus closing rate for people that I work with, is of time I've invested into my skill. I haven't invested into doing more, I've invested in refining my skill, which is ultimately is gonna make me the most money. And you need to do the same. You don't need to refine your script, you don't need to refine your story funnels, you don't need to refine your emails, you don't need to refine your paid ads tactics or your paid ad funnels. You need to refine how you actually take someone from the messages to the call to the close. And that's only gonna be done through learning how to sell. There's no magic pill, there's no magic tactic, there's no magic solution. The solution is staring you right to the face, and it's uncomfortable, but it's the only solution that you have. And that is to get better at selling. Getting people to hand over their money because you've convinced them to tackle a problem. What you need to get better at is helping people convince themselves that they need to attack and change themselves through you. Once you do that, the game becomes easy, and I promise that to you. This video's been really off the rip and really just random. I hope you found some value in it, and I hope you know what you need to do next. If you want a free training, click the link down below, put your email in, and it'll be sent to your inbox. If not, I'll catch you next time.